Hi, guys, and welcome back to Our Peaceful Peace. Today, I want to tell a story and kind of give you guys some information about our experience and what it was like purchasing land in an area that we were unfamiliar with. You see, here we're having a great time, having a wonderful time celebrating, dancing in the area of which we've purchased this land, just thinking of all the joyful times that are coming and what we're building and how we're going to help this community grow and just add to what God is doing in the area. So here we're clearing some of the debris, the trees that need to come out. We're going to put a pond back there. Really just getting things together. So while we're out there on the land, there were a couple of incidences that individually did not add up to what you would think would be a possible altercation / situation, but collectively just spelled out trouble. Okay, so we were being welcoming and noticing that people were almost going out of their way to not make eye contact or shying away from us wanting to approach them. In addition to the fact that, there were little bitty coincidences, I guess individually, but again, there was another situation where somebody who was coming to the land was on their way and they made a wrong turn, GPS cut out, and they asked if they could turn around in a neighbor's driveway, and they were told no, which, again, is a situation that could be absolutely nothing, or it could be somebody just these microaggressions, but there's another situation. So then someone is here helping, and they have their vehicle parked on the land that is city property. Actually, it was on the street. It was asked to move, and they didn't get the opportunity. Came back aggressively, and they asked again, "Didn't I ask you to move?" And so, we literally took that time and said, okay, let's just go ahead and take a beat and decide if this is even something that we really want to deal with, because these are all individual people who seem to have a problem with us that could only be what I look like, who you perceive me to be. And that wasn't something that we wanted to necessarily deal with or have to be so diligent about, leaving and going to the store, and maybe, the kids are home, or, I just don't want to have to be in a situation where I'm fighting to live, and I don't want my kids to be in that situation either. So just, it's just not something we want at all. So again, the reason why we're doing this video is just because it's not necessarily to alienate or to keep somebody that does not look like me from, absorbing this information and knowing that this is a thing. It still happens. But, these are very simple things. The only agenda that we had by moving into that neighborhood literally was to make it better, to be able to be of service to people, to be able to show them God's love. The garden that we were wanting to put there was not just going to be for us. It was going to be to try to assist our neighbors, maybe give a certain donation ever so often, just to be able to be of service. In addition to that, we wanted to be able to teach people who did not know how to garden or how to maintain a garden, because we're still learning, but I'm sure there are people that we can help and allow them to be able to be more self-sufficient, in this day and age. I just feel like everybody should have a garden. You should be growing something. I don't care if it's potatoes, I don't care if you just have chickens. Like, there's not just anything. Like, that's a contribution to your stability outside of what our government, our city, or, whatever entities, provide for us. I know that God has provided all of these things for us. We just have to change the way that we're thinking and looking at things. We've been a community that always consumes, and now we need to learn how to produce some of these things that we're consuming. And it's really good to do it, because at the end of the day, I want to know that my carrot is just a carrot. I want to know that the meat that I'm eating, is meat that was not treated poorly in unhealthy situations and injected with all these things to keep, just that. I would prefer to have a whole product. And I know that I'm having a meal of a roast and some potatoes with carrots. I know what everything is and where it came from. That's just a beautiful thing to me. But the whole reason why we were there, again, is just to be able to better the area and be of service. But God blessed us with so much more. So much more. We just wanted to make sure that we put information out for people to just take the steps to do some very diligent, patrolling of the area, I guess. But what we did was actually, we went out to the area after this experience. It just made us more, be more aware and pay closer attention. So we went to the area that we were thinking about moving to. We rode around at different times of the day. We tried to speak and interact with as many people as we could. Restaurants that were in the area, we went there. We made sure that we asked people that we thought would be able to give us a little more insight about what the community is like, what the school's like. As much as you can do in the area before actually purchasing, I would say do that. A realtor can tell you this is a great area with great schools, but is this area accepting of people who look like you? How would you be treated? How would your children be treated? It's really sad that that's where we are today, but I just wanted to make sure that I left some information for you all to chew on.